You're listening to Spin It, a spin on digital marketing. We are spinning the discussion about everything web, graphics, digital marketing, and much more. And we're here to help get your business's online presence back on track. Join the team as we spin it.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Spin It. I'm Cheryl O'Hearn with Spin Market Digital. And again, we are bringing on our friends at the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance, talking about the video releases that we've been doing all year long. And we're coming down to the last 3, I believe, of the year, and we'll be talking about that with them and highlighting it. But we also want to regroup a little bit and go back and talk about what's been going on with this video series and what our plans are with it and how it's grown over the last few months. So I'm going to introduce to you, first of all, Jill Nelson with the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance.
Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for having us.
Yes, very welcome. And Jill is the Community Development Director with the Growth Alliance. And, of course, we have Lydia Schuur.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hello there. Happy day today.
Yes.
For you. And everybody's got their coffee in front of them. I know you can't see that right now, but yeah, we've got our coffee and we're being well caffeinated this morning.
We're ready to go.
We're ready to go and tell you about it. So yeah, Lydia is the communication specialist with the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance, and they have been instrumental in putting together this video campaign. Started, it's hard to believe, but in a couple of months, we will have actually hit 2 years.
Oh, that doesn't seem possible, but yeah.
Of planning this.
Yeah, from
pretty close, a year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half for sure. Yeah.
But, it had been thought of for quite a while. So that's why I throw that 2 years in there and a year and a half of really focusing in on it and putting it together and then actually moving forward with it. So let's talk a little bit about the history of it before we go into our next video release.
Yeah, I'd love to. So at the Growth Alliance, we're the economic development and community development organization for Fort Dodge, Webster County and the region. And we also serve as the Chamber of Commerce. So we have a lot of members here in Fort Dodge, but also outside of the city, outside of the county. We have members really throughout the state and even some throughout the Midwest. So those members they support our organization. Likewise, we provide tools and resources and, progress and growth to support their businesses as well. And so we felt like it was important to help tell the story of our organization through our members. And so we selected 10 of our members that represent different I guess I use the word categories of our membership or of our community and our businesses. And those individuals we feature on this video series. There's 10 members, 10 videos, and they tell the story about their business and how they are living and working and doing business in the region here. But then they also talk about why they're members of the Growth Alliance and how they are, why they support us and the value that they see in our organization. And so it's been really fun. I think that Lydia and I would both agree that we have learned a ton just about our businesses. We've continued to build relationships with our members. We've learned a lot about the community, and it's been cool to hear from our members' perspectives too, what they love about doing business here in the region, but then the value that they see in our organization too. So I should know this, but I think maybe this is 7 or 8 that we're releasing out of 10.
Exactly. Well, and you're bringing up some really good points on it, because even though every one of these videos that we have produced for this campaign in this series, all of us are familiar with those businesses. but there has been something new that we did not know about that business until we had that conversation. And I think it really resonates the fact that when you put somebody in a different situation versus coming in, and I know Jill, you and Lydia, you both knock on their doors and visit with them, that type of thing.
Yep.
But these were such intimate conversations that we really were able to draw out things that nobody knew.
Right.
Oh yeah, and you feel so much closer to these people in the videos. Because of that. And I know it might sound cliche, but I feel like these videos all have like this common thread that just tells this really great story of our community, of our region, and why it's great to be here and what they personally love about it. And that was kind of a cool surprise that came out of it, because we didn't really ask questions that would lead to those answers, but it was just part of the discussion. And I love that part of this whole thing.
Well, exactly. And that's what's been so interesting, is that it's been refreshing. There's new information coming out, and we did it all in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they're 2 minute videos, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So, people are thinking, oh, wow, I'm going to have to listen to a video for 15, 20, 30 minutes. No, in 2 minutes, I guarantee you will learn something new about the business, about the community, and about the customers they have or the people they serve in that community. Well, it's time now for us to introduce our next video, and I want to pass that on to Jill and let you tell everybody about what is our next video.
Yeah, the next video that we are releasing is New Cooperative with Gary Moritz. Gary is the Communication and Foundation Director at New Cooperative, and perfect time to release this video because October is National Co-op Month.
Yes.
It's a busy time of year in agriculture, and so it's exciting it was really great to have a business whose foundation is agriculture in our series here, because so much of our community is built upon agriculture. But here it is, kind of their prime time of year too, and here we're releasing this video. So that's a cool tie-in.
Yes, exactly. The thing that's most interesting is a lot of people are going to go, why is it called New Co-op? And I know, being in the farming community, and my husband thinks this is the greatest thing in the world, that he knew years ago why it was called New Co-op. He will repeatedly tell me why it was called New Co-op. But I'm going to pass it on to Lydia, and you tell us why it's called New Co-op.
Okay, so yes, New Co-op actually started in 1973 with 2 co-op elevators coming together in Vincent and Badger. And so from that, they came up with the name Northeast Webster County Co-op. So that's the story behind New, Northeast Webster. And I did not know that. I learned a lot from this video that I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and also on top of that, that started in 1973. And where are we now, Joe, with New Co-op?
Yeah, so they have over 60 locations, 800 employees. I mean, they have grown tremendously, and their hub is right here in Fort Dodge in Webster County. And the majority of they're still, their prime area is still that, Webster County, but really all across the northern, specifically like northwestern part of Iowa is really where they're growing. And honestly, there's probably people that are listening that maybe aren't, maybe they don't have ties to agriculture, that are saying, what does a co-op do? I suppose.
Yes.
So a co-op, they are really a key piece of any agriculture operation, because they are going to provide services such as like storage for grain, agronomy services, grain marketing, a lot with transportation of that grain, just a lot of services to help those farmers really grow the best crops that they can. And then once they grow them, then they help them find, ways to market them and sell them, and they really get that corn to where it needs to go.
Well, the barge facility that they put up in Missouri on the Missouri River is a perfect example of that. And I believe it's the farthest north barge on the Missouri River. And people don't realize that wherever you see an elevator around this area, particularly, it's probably a new co-op. There are a couple other ones as well, but they actually have 60 locations out there. And like you said, employ about 800 employees, but they also have over 8,000 members. And that's what a co-op is. It's a member. So each of these 8,000 people actually own part of this co-op. And that's what that means by it. So as a farmer, as a member of the cooperative, they have some type of financial responsibility with the new co-op on there. So one of the things that was interesting that Gary brought up was talking about our community, and not just Fort Dodge, but the fact that within 20 miles of Fort Dodge, the number of communities and school districts that are also options for everybody out there.
Yeah, with the 800 employees that they have really, across the state, but many of them, like Cheryl, you said, within 20 miles of here. Gary talked a lot about regionalism and how it's important that we have the amenities that are needed here for his employees to be happy and to love living here, when they're not working too. And he talked about how that is such an important need with workforce attraction and them just keeping and maintaining and attracting employees here. So that was really great for us to hear that connection between, what we're doing in the community and how they value that with the business that they're creating here.
Yeah, because they actually, while it's a agriculture based, they bring in some highly skilled individuals within there, with agronomists and that type of thing, going out and working with the farmers to understand better how they need to handle their fields and their grain and rotation and how just there's so many factors in trying to get the biggest yield. And of course now we have such serious issues with drought that they're really working with them, as well as understanding what they need to do to, again, hit those yields that they need to be profitable.
Yeah. I mean, they hire and have on staff, it's accountants and truck drivers and, economists and individuals, in the grain marketing sector of their business. They do have the agronomists, really. But then they also have their staff members like at their physical co-op locations throughout the state. So really they hire and have on staff a very diverse group of skills, individuals. It's 800 employees. They are a big business, and I think sometimes we don't even realize like how big they are located right here in Webster County.
Exactly. Until you start really thinking about it. And I'm sure people are going to, especially at this time of the year in October, they see a lot of new co-op semis going up and down. Anybody that travels on Highway 7, particularly between Valero and CJ Bio and Cargill, you're seeing new co-op trucks all over. And then now, as soon as they get out of the field, you'll see them out in the field preparing them again for next year out there. So it's a very important part. And he also reiterated, Gary, about talking about as being a member of the Greater Fort Dodge Growth Alliance, how that's one of his ways within the organization of New Co-op to be part of the community and supporting the community. Because if they support the Growth Alliance, they also support the other businesses that they provide help for and assistance on. But also there's a lot of networking that's done that nobody sees.
Right. Yeah, it's very big picture.
It is a big picture. If you really to drill down and understand all the facets of what goes into both an economic development organization and a chamber organization.
Right. Yeah. And that's also what I like about all of these videos, because it is a very diverse showcase of our membership base, and you learn a lot, but you also get to see the connections and the big picture of the role everybody plays.
Right. even though it's agriculture, it touches every home, not only here in our community, but across the world, because we're selling grain everywhere.
Yes, it does.
It's Fort Dodge has an impact across the world.
Right.
And one of those things that we kind of forget about because we don't realize it, but when you sit down and go, wow, yeah, we really do. We really impact the entire world.
Yeah.
Out there. So that's exciting. The other thing that in talking about the recapping, of course, is the 3 keywords actually 4 keywords that we've learned during this series that have been brought out and we've used as part of the title is business, community support, and diversity. And those are things that come constantly up into each of the videos and then into the conversations.
Right. Yeah. Great point. It's a common thread that's been a part of all of it.
On it. And so, that's part of the reason why we have done this. It's been an educational series for us as well, which is part of the mission statement of the Growth Alliance is to learn more about the businesses in the community so that they're able to do a better job when they are networking outsiders. Kelly's out there, Dennis is out there, Jill, Lydia, any of the people internally that are out visiting with other businesses, you are keeping in the know as to what's there and can pass that information on and just to be a resource for them, which is invaluable.
Absolutely.
So anyway, let's talk about how the people in our community, how the businesses, how the organizations, anybody at all can use these videos.
Yes, and we encourage them to.
We would love you to.
Share,
resonating,
comment.
yes. Love.
Yes, like them, comment on them, share them, interact. They can put them on their own websites. We can help with that.
Yes.
And you can find these videos on our social media, our website, our YouTube, anywhere online you can find them.
Anywhere online. And of course, the nice thing about it is it's done in a way that it stays out there. That information is very relevant, whether it's now or a year from now. I would say most of these videos, it's very relevant.
Absolutely.
And growing. And what'll be fun is next year at this time when we go back and look at the videos and talk to these businesses as well and say, what have you seen different over the last year since they came out? And get that feedback from them on it. But we do encourage anybody, if you're a business, a nonprofit, a civic organization, doesn't make any difference who it is, showing these videos and sharing them out there really has an impact on our community in getting that information out that we have learned doing these videos that we know is information that a lot of other people don't know as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So, the videos are all very similar in that, Gary with New Co-op here, he does talk a little bit about New Co-op and their role in the community, but overall, he's talking about the community in our region here. And so it does, and the great things about it. And so it does everybody in our community good when this video is shared and this message gets out that Gary or any of the other videos that we've already done, when that message is shared, because it's not just about that business in the video. It's about our community and our region and them telling a great story that that we want to be shared. We want to tell everybody in the state, everybody in the Midwest, how great our region is, and we are utilizing these 10 businesses to do so. So, please share and please help get the word out, and we would love that.
Yep, great. Well, this is another episode of Spin It and talking about the video series. We still have a couple more videos that are going to be coming out, and so we're excited about that. Again, you can go to the Spin It website and listen to all the podcasts, or as well as go to the Growth Alliance and listen to all the podcasts. We kept them pretty short, so they're nice and concise, and you can listen to them on the drive into work or wherever it may be. So it's a great way to learn more about the community and become more involved in the community as well. So again, thank you, Jill and Lydia. And until the next time, we will see you on Spin It.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Spin It podcast.
Make sure you check out our brand new website at www.spinmarket.com. That's www.spinmarket.com.
And follow us on social media at Spin Market to keep up to date with all that's happening.
If you'd like to sponsor an episode of the Spin It podcast, fill out the form on our website, www.spinmarket.com.
And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channels so you never miss an episode.
Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Spin It.